A tsunami struck the coast of the municipality of Laguna in southern Brazil. Unlike tsunamis caused by seismic activity, tsunamis occur when thunderclouds pass parallel to the coastline, resulting in a sudden change in atmospheric pressure. Eyewitnesses reported that there were no indications of the impending natural disaster. Laguna Beach was bustling with vacationers when the tsunami hit. People hastily packed their belongings and fled from the advancing water in panic. Local fishermen at the marina promptly came to the aid of those in distress, assisting in the evacuation of women and children. Officials from the fire department noted that 10 cars parked near the beach were swept into the ocean. A hailstorm recently hit Johannesburg, South Africa's most populous city. The northern part of the city and its suburbs took the hardest hit. In certain areas, the hail covered the ground entirely, resembling snowdrifts. Some hailstones reached the size of a hen's egg. The aftermath included damage to cars and a parking lot, which couldn't withstand the weight of the hail. The gardens also suffered notable damage due to the harsh weather conditions. Social media platforms were flooded with photos and videos capturing the natural phenomenon, providing a first-hand look at the impact of the hailstorm.
Guys, look at what's happening in media. Like, viralan.
Oh my gosh!
If this can happen in just 7 minutes, what more?
A significant discovery near the Fagradalsfjall volcano in Iceland has increased the likelihood of a volcanic eruption. A 15-kilometer-long underground magma tunnel has been identified. This finding has prompted concerns, leading to the evacuation of all 4,000 residents of the southwestern Icelandic town of Grindavik, situated near the country's main airport. Currently, flights are operating as usual, but Iceland has declared a state of emergency due to the seismic activity, as a potential volcanic eruption could pose a threat to residential areas for the first time in over 50 years. While seismic activity decreased on Monday, scientists still anticipate a volcanic eruption. More than 500 earthquakes, although weaker than those in the preceding days, have occurred in the region since midnight.
Hann náttúrulega búinn líka vistarverum sem að það er yfir.
Nee. This one look, that's it, stop. Kaffe met zo.
Every 10 minutes, so I guess it depends on how. Wow. Fuck.
Er það inn í fjárhúsi líka? Whoa! Oof.
Iceland, with its population of 390,000, is accustomed to volcanic activity, boasting about 30 active volcanoes. Recent years have seen eruptions near Grindavik. The 2010 eruption of the Eyjafjallajökull volcano notably disrupted air travel in Europe for almost a week due to ash clouds. However, scientists now suggest that the risk of a large ash cloud is lower. Despite this, ongoing monitoring and preparedness efforts remain crucial in light of the potential volcanic activity. Storm Debbie arrived in the UK and Ireland, bringing wind gusts exceeding 112 kilometers per hour. A yellow weather warning remained in effect for high winds in northwest England, indicating the potential for building damage and disruptions to road travel. In Ireland, the storm led to power cuts, affecting approximately 100,000 homes and businesses. The Met Office advised people in coastal areas of northwest England to anticipate flying debris, roof tiles being blown off, and possible road and bridge closures. Yellow rain warnings were also issued for much of northern England, North Wales, parts of northeast Scotland, and Northern Ireland. Meteorologists cautioned that the weather could become even more unpredictable as thunderstorms and heavy rain moved from the west to the south of England. A significant fire erupted at an oil depot in Brazil, with tanks containing 2 million liters of fuel becoming engulfed. The incident occurred during the refueling of one of the tanks, leading to the sudden outbreak of flames and the emergence of a towering column of fire. Accompanying this spectacle was the release of black smoke into the sky, carrying harmful chemicals swiftly across the city due to the wind. Promptly, employees at the facility were evacuated, and the burning tanks were swiftly relocated to prevent the fire from spreading. Multiple fire brigades are actively engaged in the challenging task of extinguishing the fire, with efforts including the delivery of water, sourced even from the local river. The Italian volcano Etna, after several months of calm, has once again started erupting lava and ash over Sicily. A powerful plume of steam rose into the sky from the southeast crater of Europe's highest and most active volcano. The volcano's eruption reached a height of 4.5 kilometers above sea level, causing ash to blanket several cities, such as Milo and Zaffarana. Despite the nearby Catania International Airport continuing its operations, the National Institute of Geophysics and Volcanology issued a red aviation code in response. The water in a lake in Hawaii has turned a vibrant pink color. The lake is situated in the National Wildlife Refuge on the island of Maui, and specialists first observed this unusual phenomenon on October 30th. Samples of the water were sent to the University of Hawaii for analysis. The university suggested that the change in color was likely due to the presence of halobacteria, organisms that thrive in environments with high salt concentration. It is highlighted that the salt content in the lake increased in the context of a drought, potentially contributing to this unique coloration of the water. The United Nations has labeled the flooding, resulting in hundreds of thousands of people becoming homeless in Somalia and neighboring East African countries, as a once-in-a-century event. The UN estimates that approximately 1.6 million people in Somalia could be impacted by heavy seasonal rains and the combined effects of two climate phenomena that strongly influence weather: El Niño. The floods following tropical rains since early October have already claimed 29 lives and displaced more than 300,000 people in Somalia, inundating towns and villages in northern Kenya. Camps for people displaced by an Islamist insurgency and the worst drought in 4 decades have also been flooded, causing people to flee for a second time, according to aid groups. The disaster is expected to destroy about 1.5 million hectares of farmland. A winter storm has hit Alaska, covering Anchorage, the state's largest city, with a population exceeding 290,000 people in unprecedented snowfall. Due to the extreme weather conditions persisting for several days, the settlement and its surroundings have declared a state of emergency. The intensity of the snowfall, reaching up to 60 centimeters in 2 days, has led to power outages, school closures, and temporary shutdowns of certain road sections deemed unsafe for travel. Incidents of falling trees have also been reported. Anchorage witnessed a record-breaking snowfall of approximately 23 centimeters within 24 hours, marking the highest accumulation for such an early winter season in over 3 decades. An earthquake with a magnitude of 5.0 hit the Turkish resort province of Alanya, according to the European Mediterranean Seismological Center. The epicenter was located 22 kilometers south of the city of Alanya, with the quake originating at a depth of 14 kilometers. Alanya, a well-known resort on the Mediterranean coast in western Turkey, comprises both a district and a city. The district is inhabited by more than 360,000 people, while the city itself is home to over 90,000 residents. In the French department of Pas-de-Calais, many kindergartens and schools are still closed due to flooding. The streets of villages are flooded. French President Emmanuel Macron and his spouse will travel to the Pas-de-Calais department to support the residents affected by the flooding. After heavy rainfall last week, many areas remain flooded, and people are still unable to leave their homes. Kindergartens and schools in 279 municipalities are closed. Dozens of municipalities have submitted claims for the damage caused. The Minister of Environmental Transition has promised government subsidies to rebuild the flooded public infrastructure.